I have the unique advantage of balancing, right, the thought process, because as an entrepreneur, it becomes your life, right? This is the only thing you're working on, it's the only problem you're trying to solve, and it's make or break, and you live or die.
How daunting was it, and what are the kind of challenges you faced?
Look, like we talked about, right? There's confidence,
Mhm.
there's arrogance,
Yeah.
and the good cousin of arrogance is ignorance.
Okay. Yeah.
When you're young and you're starting a company, you don't think about all the daunting issues. You just get started.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You don't see a wall.
Yeah. You just,
Right?
yeah.
You only see what ladders or whose shoulder I can, climb on to get over that wall, right? You don't see walls,
True.
right? You only see windows.
True.
So ignorance is a bliss many times for entrepreneurs. So they should actually not worry about, if they're passionate about a certain problem that they've identified that is of value, they shouldn't care whether it is OpenAI building it, or DeepSeek building it, or Tesla building it, or Reliance building it, or Tata's building it, because they're not. Because your unique insight as an entrepreneur comes from your belief. And I'll give you an example that's a non-tech example, okay? My wife and I, right, wanted to make sure that our daughter grows up bilingual, because for us in India, it's very common to speak 3, 4, 5 languages.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
Around 6?
6.
Yes.
Okay? And that is not too uncommon.
Yeah.
Right?
It is not.
Tamil pesula, Kannada matadbodu, Hindi aata hai,
Yes.
right? We know all this because we are ingrained as the ability to be multilingual. Now, the thought of an English-only language model doesn't make any sense, correct?
Correct.
So, if you were building a large language model, you would think in multimodal, multi-language, not just text, right? You think text and video,
True.
right? And images. So, India has a very unique way of leveraging all of its assets,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
In ways that are very different to growing up in the US. So, if this episode is targeting Indian entrepreneurs, right? What I'd encourage them to kind of think about is not only think big, right? Don't worry about what is happening with others. Only concern yourself with, are you going to create value for the subsector of the customers that you want to go do, and be just great at it in every possible way, not just from a technology point. Because you can innovate on a business model. You could innovate, right, using customer service. You could innovate using, let's say, open source technologies. You could innovate, obviously, with core IP. So the idea that there's only one way to do something, right, is not true. So our focus, right, now that I'm on the other side of the fence, right, as an investor and as an entrepreneur, having sat on both sides of the table, I have the unique advantage of balancing, right, the thought process, because as an entrepreneur, it becomes your life, right? This is the only thing you're working on, it's the only problem you're trying to solve, and it's make or break, and you live or die. But if you're a venture, I will bet on 9 horses.
Correct.
I only need one of those 9 horses to win,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So as your entrepreneur, you only have one horse, right? And 1 jockey. I can bet on 9 jockeys, 9 horses. If I don't like the jockey, I'll replace the jockey.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right? Having been in both of those worlds, both of them have their inherent advantage, okay, and disadvantage. So the question is, can you think like this?
I mean, to my question of transitioning, I think you said ignorance is bliss. I will agree with you, because I have seen in my own entrepreneurial journey, ignorance is bliss. And we all, right at my board, when all 6 co-founders sit and think that, why did we take this decision? We are successful today, or rather on the mark of being successful. I would rather put it across. We think that, we ignored many things, which was definitely bliss. This also marks me to end this question, adding to response, the famous quote of Steve Jobs, stay hungry, stay foolish. I think I've been hearing this context in many responses. I hear this also from you in the form of ignorance is bliss. So thank you for the response. I think that was very insightful. Thanks for this.